I'm Steve Saylor, and I have a Nintendo Switch 2 console. I have here, it's in my hands. I can't believe it's actually in my hands. I literally didn't think I was going to get this until 48 hours ago. So thanks to my buddy Riley for having an extra pre-order available. It is Switch 2 day after all. So I'm here to unbox it for you and then also show you any of the accessibility settings once I get that all set up. So I will go through that, and I'm look at that. There's the Switch. There's the Joy-Cons. Let's pull these Joy-Cons out. They definitely feel a lot larger in the hands, and they kind of have this sort of matte material that actually feels very nice in hands. It doesn't feel slippery or anything like that. It actually does feel like, not necessarily there's a bit of grip to it, but just has that, like, instead of a glossy sort of feel, it has a matte kind of feel. And the thumbsticks definitely, and the buttons feel a lot bigger. I've already looked at this. I've already kind of done a sort of first impressions of the Switch 2 hardware. If you want to check that out, I went to the Switch 2 experience in Toronto not too long ago, and I'll probably have a link to that in the show notes if you want to be able to know more about kind of my first immediate impressions. But it's just the unboxing of these today. Here are the Joy-Cons themselves. I know they're on, like, Switch on the other side. There we go. Okay, anyway. Let's take out the Switch itself. Ooh. This actually feels a lot bigger and a little tiny bit heavier than the original Switch. And I actually do have my OLED Switch that I will be grabbing in and kind of comparing the size in just a sec. But let's just check. Okay, that is the red side. I love that. Okay, this is a nice little accessibility touch, not gonna lie. But the idea of the fact that they have the blue in the inside, the red on the other side, for color blindness, not necessarily the best, but they do say, I'm trying to think what would, like, kind of like, is there anything inside that kind of, oh, okay, I like that. Okay, wait. This is something I didn't even notice. So look, you have the plus icon. It's hard to see because it's out of focus, but you see the plus icon on the red side, and the minus icon on the blue side. So that way, for color blindness, you can be able to know which is which. So this is the negative side. So, or the minus side. So we're gonna let's see. Oh, that just feels nice. That just feels nice. Let's do it again with the red side. Here we go. Oh, that feels nice. Oh, this is really, really pretty. It feels great. It's got a nice little heft to it. The thumbsticks and the shoulder buttons feel pretty good. They have a little bit. And all right, so let's take a look at. I haven't unplugged my OLED Switch as of yet, but here is. Oh, let me turn off the power here. Here is the OLED Switch in comparison to the Switch 2. As you can tell, definitely a size difference for sure. Thinness wise, let me see. It does feel a little bit thicker. Not by much though. It actually, I mean, honestly, it's about the same thickness. The only thing that stands out a bit more is and it's kind of hard to see with this, but it's like on this side, the only thing that like stands out a bit more is the trigger buttons themselves. So, and then, yeah, if you take a look, you can kind of see comparison wise, just the Joy-Cons and how big the thumbsticks are in comparison. They feel that, like, it's not that much bigger, but it definitely is noticeable, including the face buttons themselves. You can definitely see the difference there. Love that. So I am going to be setting this up. I have actually Mario Kart World. Went and picked that up today, and I also picked up a Pro Controller. The new Pro Controller. I have a Pro Controller, but I wanted to try this one because, especially with the back paddles, I really appreciate that. I've always liked that. Neat little accessibility tip. I actually remap the L3 and R3 buttons to the back paddles So that way you don't have to keep pressing down on the thumbsticks and hurt your fingers that way. So that's great. And I think there's actually some, oh yeah, here we go. There's some instruction, kind of safety warranty information underneath the slot for the Switch too. And then there is, I believe this is the HDMI cable. Pretty cool. I don't think I need that because I actually already have a HDMI cable for it. And then here are what I believe actually are the straps, but also I think these are the little, they got like little pads on the bottom. Here we go, on this side here. That's specifically, I think, for mouse mode. So that's cool. I thought that was going to be an additional accessory, but looks like it comes with. All right, and what else do we got? We have the Joy-Con grip, which I don't have the Joy-Con grip handy to be able to see like from the original Switch, but looks cool. Let's take off the. I'm gonna love doing this, but like here we go. Like there's a button on on the back here. You just push, just separate. It's gonna be so much better to be able to to take these things on and off. And same deal. Plus, minus, blue and red. So that way you know which side it goes on to which. So let's take off the red. Just it easily pops off, which is great. So much easier to be able to connect, reconnect connect, reconnect from the Switch. Here we go. So here is the Joy-Con grip with both of these. This definitely feels a lot bigger. I mean, of course, just because the Joy-Cons are bigger, but it also does feel like a little bit not as wide as like a regular controller, but it has like with the grips and it kind of does feel like you're kind of folding your hands in a little bit more. But it is a little bit more cramped than a regular controller if you're worried about that. But it is definitely noticeably bigger than the original Switch Joy-Con grip. So let's put these back on again. Wait. I love that. Like it still kind of has that like noticeable snap. Like that's just cool. All right, what else do we got? I think we got the dock in here next. Okay, the dock definitely feels a little bit more substantial. It feels a little bit more premium this time. So here we go. Switch to dock. Here's the back. They got a nice curved shape to them. That's where I guess the down here is I guess where the cable track's supposed to go. But on this side, it looks like are they USB ports? They're both USB. So they're USB. Not C, but like 2 USB ports. I believe that would probably be for charging like controllers and stuff, or also attaching, I believe, the accessories like the Switch 2 camera. Now let's see, how do you take? Oh, you literally just pop this off. Oh, nice. Okay, cool. And let's see what kind of other ports do we have here. Okay, good. We have it's kind of hard to tell, but there's an HDMI cable. There's a USB-C cable. And what looks like down there, yep, we're right back. Nope, right back here, a Ethernet port. I'm definitely going to be using that because that's how I how I connect my Switch, my Switch to my Wi-Fi or to my internet. Very cool. And let's see how this looks inside the Switch with the Switch in there. Trying to figure out the kind of the sweet spot for this. There we go. This is what it looks like with the Switch inside. Very cool. Very nice. Very, 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 very nice. Okay. And then lastly is the... I can't grab it. It's underneath my desk, but it was the power block. And then this is the USB-C, I believe, power cable. Yep, USB-C on both ends. So that is what is inside the box. Give me a few minutes. I'm gonna pause the recording right now, and then literally within a second later, you're gonna see when I boot it up and get everything all transferred over, and I can be able to. I'll show you the accessibility menu for the very first time. All right. Okay, so I have plugged everything in and set I'm in the initial setup right now. I almost had a tumble taking out my Switch OLED. The whole dock and Switch had fell down to the ground, and like one of the Joy-Cons had popped off, and I was like, no! But it works fine. It totally works fine. So this is the initial setup for the Switch 2. I don't see anything about turning on the screen reader to go through this setup. So the accessibility so far, that's a knockoff for Nintendo, because I feel like that if they're gonna have a screen reader built in, they should have it have it on by default in the setup. So, but for now, you can choose your language. So we're gonna set English US, and it's technically English like Canada, but UK and Australia. But I'm gonna do English US. It's fine. We're gonna do that, and I am currently in the Americas. We're accepting the end user license agreement. Connect to the internet. Searching for networks. We may pause this here. All right. I went for the wired connection, which was fine. About to download update data. You can continue setting up while the update downloads. Okay. So we're going to set our time zone. I am currently in Toronto, so we're going to find that. New York, Montreal, Toronto. Here we go. And while Nintendo Switch 2, with Nintendo Switch 2, you can play games whenever you want, however you want. And it's showing pictures of the Switch docked or like undocked, but in with the stand up, and basically the person holding the two Joy-Cons. There's one sort of sitting down, kind of lounging back, and with playing it in handheld, or playing it on another person playing it on a TV. You can adjust the stand to get the best viewing angle. You can now connect the AC adapter to the top of the system, so that you can oh, that's cool. So you can be able to charge from both the top USB-C and the bottom USB-C. Detach the Joy-Con as shown. Yep, hold the release button. We've already done that. And pull to the side. We've done that. You can use the accessories that came with the system to hold the Joy-Con 2 controllers in multiple ways. I currently have it in the Joy-Con grip because I need to be able to set up the Pro controller and unpack that. So we're going to skip the attachment guide for now. Choose a style. You can change it at any time. And it basically is showing pictures of you holding it, of someone holding it in handheld, some holding it in, with the stand and this Joy-Con separated, and in the dock with the TV. Ready to update the system. Update. And it's gonna update. So I'll pause it and then come back when it's done. All right, so system update complete. And we're gonna we gotta connect the other two, the Joy-Cons again, because it did shut down and restart. So click OK. And start system transfer. I'm gonna. So you can transfer data from your Nintendo Switch to this Nintendo Switch. I think what I'm going to do, because I already updated my saves to the cloud, I think I'm not going to transfer for right now. Just because I want to be able to download the games, the games I specifically want on here. So we're just not going to do that. Let's add a user. Sign in to a Nintendo account. All right, I have signed in. They give you the ability to be able to scan a QR code to sign in via browser. So I have done so and basically connected with a code. So, yep, we got me, Steve. Click OK. And we're going to skip because I don't have any additional users. Don't need to set parental controls. I do not have a micro SD card right now. So I'm going to skip that as well. And the setup is complete. To go to the home, press the home button, which is on the right Joy-Con. And hell yeah, Nintendo Switch 2, baby. I believe that the colors are a little bit faded. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's cool. From here, you can re-download and purchase downloadable games and content on your account. All right, let us go to the accessibility settings because I want to be able to set that up before we even begin to start downloading games. So I do believe that there is an accessibility menu. So we're going to go straight to that. Button mapping looks like you can be able to edit the controller mapping like we've seen in other games. You can be able to basically remap things. Sometimes I remap the A and B buttons just because it's that Pavlovian response of having the B in the bottom of the face buttons instead of on the right hand side. But I'm going to keep it for now. Maybe we'll see if I can get back used to it to the way it originally was. So we got remapping. You can enable button remapping in quick settings, which is awesome. So if we basically hit the plus icon if we hit the back button and the plus icon, or is it hold the plus icon, I think? Wait, let me see. Well, if we do hold on, it's a hold. Yeah, we go. Hold on the hold. You can basically add a remapping right then and there, which is nice. So we got that. All right, let's go back to the accessibility menu. And text size. Yeah, let's see what the text size is. We got standard. We got large. Ooh, I like that. And let's take a look at maximum. Hell to the mother effing yes. We got ourselves a maximum text size. Love that. Love that. I think for me, though, it definitely is very large. I think because of I'm using my TV in order to be able to see this, and I'm sitting literally 1.5 feet away. For now, I'm going to set to large, and we'll go. And then when I go into handheld mode, I can switch it back to maximum. So we're going to also bold text, so it's a little bit higher the contrast for me to see. You can also set higher contrast. If you can see, it basically kind of bolds the lines and kind of the UI itself, which is nice. You can enable zoom. Basically let you zoom, but if you double tap the home button twice, similar to how the zoom is on the main switch. Basically, you can just use X and Y to zoom in, and then you can be able to set the home button to lock, which means then the controls go back to the way they are. But if you hit the home button again, you can be able to adjust just like that. And that is very cool. We're going to keep that enabled, but we are going to double tap to cancel out of this for now. Change display colors. Let's see. We've got invert colors. All right. A little bit, not too bad, but let's see. Can we go grayscale? And yeah, that'll work for color blindness. So we got default there. I think then you can turn on mono audio. We've seen that before. Text to speech. We're going to use that.
Settings. Text to speech. Use text to speech. On. Toggle button. Vertical list.
Okay.
9 of 13. Reads out text content that appears on screen. Readout can be restarted by pressing and holding a control stick. Not all screens support system settings.
Ah, see, I just did that and it restarted. That's cool. So voice type.
Type 1. Type.
Text to speech.
Okay, you can choose male or female, so we're going to do that. Text to speech speed.
140, 231%, 300%.
Oh, I love that.
Text to speech volume, 100%. Slider, 12 of 13, 228%. 181%.
Ooh, I like that.
Speech speed, 300%. Change speech mode from text during game chat. Button, 13 of 13. Whose settings do you want to change? Steve.
Oh, here we go. Display speech as text.
Off. Toggle button. Vertical list. On. Off.
Display speech as text. Oh, converts game chat, voice, audio, info on screen text messages. Language, same as system. Yep, okay.
Change speech to text. Language, same as system. English, US. Button. Vertical list. 2 of 5. If you want to use this feature with a different language than the one set for the system overall, update the language setting here.
I know it sounds like it's basically gibberish. The screen reader is gibberish, but that is how fast generally a lot of us blind users usually use this voiceover. So love that. So that is all in the accessibility menu. I believe though that there is a. Let's see if I turn off HDR output. TV resolution. Let's see if we can be able to set it to 4K. Can we set it to 4K? Adjust. Let's see if this. Oh, here we go. We can adjust the brightness of the HDR.
1 of 2. Make dimmer. Button. 2 of 2.
Okay, go next.
Adjust display for this TV. This is how the brightness will look.
This is how bright. We can adjust the brightness.
Screen brightness. 100%.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, we definitely want screen bright as big as bright as possible. Oh, you can change the image too. Oh, I like that. I like that.
100%.
It sort of shows you different games and what they actually look like.
42%.
That is very nice. And you can adjust the brightness from that. That is, and the home screen too. That is a very nice touch. That is a very, very nice touch. I love that. Okay, so we're going to do okay. All right, we are now officially in 4K mode. I want to see if there is a dark mode in this. I think I saw folks using that. RGB range. Let's do full range. There we go. Adjust screen size. Okay, adjust the corners. That's fine. Screen burn in reduction. Reduce the screen brightness after 5 minutes of inactivity. It's fine. Match TV power state. 120 hertz output. Auto low latency mode. HDR output for all software. Adjust HDR. Oh, yeah, we just did that right now. And themes. Here we go. Basic dark. All right. Now we're talking, baby. Love that. Steve Switch 2. I think I actually kind of like that. Okay, that works. All right, we get system battery. I'm going to switch that to percentage. Stop charging around 90%. Shortens the amount of time the system can be used while unplugged. Yep, there we go. That's fine. And there we go. All right, let's see what other things we can be able to mess around with here. Audio source, system virtual sounds. Okay, input microphone automatic. Volume test microphone. Let's see what this sounds like. Hello. Oh, here we go. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Hello, hello, hello. It's not using this mic, but
audio will now play back. Make sure you can hear recorded voice audio.
Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Hello, hello, hello. It's not using. All right. Okay. You know what? Hey, the microphone don't sound that bad. The microphone is like, for me, it's about like I'd say about like 2 feet away. So it's got a pretty good pickup. Not gonna lie. It ain't bad. I was kind of impressed. All right, you can be able to do users, data management. We've got 232 gigabytes of space currently on that I can use. There's parental controls. We got internet. We got Bluetooth audio. We can screen brightness. Can't be changed while you're docked in TV mode. And that is pretty much the settings for the Switch 2. Very, very cool. All right, so I think that is going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I know it's kind of like skipping around as we're setting things up, but hopefully you liked it. There was an unboxing plus a look at the accessibility menu and the settings on the Switch 2. If you have any questions about anything, I'm going to be testing it out for the next couple of days just so I can be able to get myself immersed in it. We're going to try out Mario Kart. I'm going to try out Cyberpunk, and I'm going to try out also the upgrades to Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, and Breath of the Wild. We're going to try out that. If there's any other games you want me to try out of the launch games that came out, please let me know in the comments down below. Other than that, that's it. Yay! We got ourselves a Switch 2 on Switch 2 launch day. Yes! I finally got to participate in one. And I'm wearing my Super Nintendo World shirt too to match. So this is great. All right, take care. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.